When we try to break a habit, like late night scrolling, overspending, or drinking, we rely on willpower. But fighting an urge at temptation is like swimming against a riptide. Your effort is high, but the environment is working against you. Over the next 6 minutes, we're going to stop fighting the current. Instead, we will do a top-to-bottom redesign of your home, your phone, and your daily schedule. By the end of this exercise, you will have a physical setup that makes your risky choices harder to start, and your healthy choices much easier to repeat. Look at this diagram. The core mechanism we are going to use is called friction. We are going to build physical and digital barricades between your impulses and your actions, deliberately slowing down the habit loop. Step 0. Pause this video. Grab a pen, blank paper, and your smartphone. Make sure you are sitting in the physical room where your habit happens most often. We start here with your physical surroundings because human intention is fragile. When you're exhausted, stressed, or lonely, you do not fall back on your goals. You fall back on whatever option your environment makes easiest. Let's start mapping. On your piece of paper, draw a line down the middle to make 2 columns. On the left side, list your internal triggers. These are the immediate conditions that spark the urge, things like a spike in work stress, a specific time of day, or physical exhaustion. Now look at this traffic light map. We'll use this system for the right column. Write down the physical places in your local environment and categorize them. Green places support recovery. Amber places require a strict plan. Red places are hazard zones. Now trace your habit backward. Do not focus on the moment you actually engaged in the behavior. Where did your safe routine begin to drift? A chain reaction usually starts hours before the final action. It might begin with an email that creates stress on a Friday afternoon. That stress leads you to take the route home that passes a specific shop, which then triggers the final urge. Identifying that early intersection is critical. Taking a different road home at 5 p.m. requires almost zero willpower. Trying to talk yourself out of a purchase while standing directly outside the shop at 6 p.m. is almost impossible. Step 2. Pick up your smartphone right now. Find the 3 apps that most frequently trigger your habit, or drain your time, and permanently delete them. Next, we need to address payment friction. Modern digital platforms are explicitly engineered to remove the pause between wanting something and buying it. Open your phone's wallet, your app store settings, and your browser preferences. Go through each menu and manually delete all saved credit cards. When you remove one-click access, you break the hypnotic loop of the screen. To make a purchase now, you have to physically stand up, locate your physical wallet, and manually type in 16 digits. That micro delay is exactly what friction looks like. It inserts a few seconds of required physical effort, giving the rational thinking part of your brain the time it needs to catch up and override the primal impulse. Step 3. Look around the physical room you are in right now. Identify the specific spot where your habit typically takes place and physically rearrange the furniture. If you always sit in the exact same chair to scroll or drink, moving that chair breaks your automatic muscle memory. The brain expects the familiar spatial cue to trigger the routine. When you alter the space, you force the brain to recognize a new pattern. Now, take your pen and paper. Write down a single clear delay script. For example, when the urge hits, I will wait 10 minutes. Below that, write down the phone number of a trusted support contact. Take that paper and stick it directly onto a high-traffic choke point in your home. Put it on the refrigerator or your bedroom wall, somewhere you cannot physically avoid seeing it. Your home environment now acts as a passive intervention system. You have disrupted your physical autopilot and placed a visual barrier between your urge and your exit, all without requiring any conscious mental effort. Step 4. We need to formalize your social safety net. On your paper, list 2 or 3 reliable allies who actively support your recovery. Next to those names, write down your boundary scripts. These are pre-written if/then statements you memorize in advance, so you can protect both your relationships and your environment when social pressure peaks. A social boundary script keeps things calm and clear. If a peer group invites you to a high-risk location, your script is simple. I am cutting down, so I will not be meeting at the pub. You also need functional boundaries with your support network. This might mean agreeing with family members that they will help you pay bills directly, but they will never transfer cash into your bank account. Writing these boundaries out in advance eliminates the danger of in-the-moment negotiation. When cravings are high, you do not have to invent an excuse or start an argument. You simply deliver the script. Step 5. Look at a typical day and identify your hardest time. This is the narrow, predictable window when your energy drops and the urge is historically at its absolute highest. Look at this timeline. We need to explicitly schedule activities to fill that exact void. These activities cannot be exhausting. They must be realistic, small wins. Drop in a 10-minute walk at 8 p.m. and a call to a friend at 8:30 p.m. You must also schedule a physical separation from your digital triggers. Assign a set time to plug your phone into a charger that is located entirely outside of your bedroom. Addiction thrives in empty, unstructured time. By scheduling a rhythmic sequence of small wins, you transform those dangerous empty hours into a structured protective factor. Take a look at what you just accomplished. You have rewired your smartphone, physically altered your immediate surroundings, and mapped out a protected routine. You are no longer asking yourself to fight a daily war using fragile internal willpower. You have built a robust, friction-heavy environment that actively supports your goals. Here is your challenge. Commit strictly to this exact environmental layout and this daily schedule for the next 30 days. Let the design do the heavy lifting. If a slip occurs, treat it as raw data, not a moral failure. Ask yourself what piece of environmental friction was missing and redesign the system to plug that gap.